Rob Ruhlman is the skipper of Spaceman Spiff. Last year they won a perf class down here. This year it's a J111 one design class. Rob, tell us how happy you are about that turn of events.
Most people would always rather race one design than perf or any kind of rating system, I guess. Certainly it's our preference. We grew up racing Lightnings, and one design racing is just a lot more fun for us, really.
We were talking earlier and you said you haven't really had a chance to do a lot of J111 one design racing. So, when was the last time that you were able to line up strictly against J111s?
Spaceman Spiff did the North Americans up in Harbor Springs this past summer. I wasn't there. My son was driving. I was running the Lightning Junior Worlds at the time. They were fourth, I think.
Right. So they had a pretty good showing.
Yeah, they did. They had a real good showing.
Well, I was asking you off camera. I mean, it's a little tough to handicap your J111 class here because of that fact that there has been a lot of one design racing.
Yeah, we just haven't. Nobody's really seen an awful lot of each other. There's a big fleet in Chicago that sails against themselves all the time, and we saw some of them up at Harbor Springs, but none of them are here. And the guys that we see here, we saw last year here. A couple of them were at the North Americans, but there just hasn't been enough one design competition for there to be any clear favorite, really.
So how do you approach the week? I mean, is it any different than when you sailed perf, or do you just go out and sail your race just as though you were in a perf class?
You sail it a little differently when it's one design, for sure.
Right. In what way? In any way in particular? Was it?
Yeah, well, your starting tactics tend to differ. I mean, when you're racing perf, you can be racing all kinds of different sizes of boats.
Right.
Here, where you're racing one design and everybody's equal, I think you tend to be a little more aggressive on the starting line, frankly.
Right. Now, you have a pretty stable crew, and I think that's been the key to your success over the years. Can you talk about that and the fact that you have such a loyal group of people that sail with you?
Yeah, it's a real blessing, really, because we're not retraining people at every regatta. We've all sailed together for quite a while. This year, I've got both my son and my daughter with us, as well as my wife.
That's great.
So half of the team is all family, and then the other half is also family, but in a very different way. We've just been together for a long time.
Right, and is Key West the event, in addition to the sailing, is it also a great time for family just to be down here, the whole atmosphere?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And particularly this time of year when you're coming from Cleveland, Ohio.
Right.
It's 8 degrees up there and snowing, so it's great to be here. And there's plenty of free time off the race course to enjoy Key West and that sort of thing.
All right, thanks, Rob.
You bet.